Hi everyone! If you are new to our channel, welcome. We are the Disney Twins UK. I'm Hayley.
I'm Katie.
And we usually vlog from the Disney parks around the world. Today is slightly different though. We've been on an adventure in Manchester today.
Yes, we were very kindly invited by the Palace Theatre Manchester to the launch event for Disney's The Lion King.
Yeah.
Now, The Lion King, if you know us well, you'll know The Lion King is one of our all-time favourite movies.
Yeah.
The musical is literally our favourite musical ever.
Yeah.
And makes us cry every time. We saw it on the West End, but it is actually touring, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
Which is why we were invited to the launch event today. So we've got a little sneak peek of what's to come, and we were quite emotional. There were tears, but we'll let you see for yourself what we got up to, and then we'll catch up with you afterwards and let you know what we thought as well.
playing this Simba character?
I really like when people come to see the show. I think they have a real sort of pre-existing idea of what a Disney show is, and kind of, it's quite fluffy and it's maybe for kids, and it's got this kind of very light element to it. And I really love really subverting those expectations. So something that I love about Simba is, he is a Disney prince, but he's not your kind of what you think is an archetypal Disney prince. He's just strong, just very kind of one note. There's so much more to him, and I love playing the vulnerability and the uncertainty of Simba, and trying to take audiences on a journey that he goes on from being someone who's kind of run away from his destiny and run away from his responsibilities, and almost making people dislike him, like seeing the version of him where you're like, come on, like, just get it together, and then by the time you kind of get to the end and he's at the top of his journey, you can really, hopefully, you've come back around.
Agree. If he's too perfect coming out, you just don't, out on the stage for the first time, you don't want to root for him, or there's nothing to fix up. Everyone likes to fix her up. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Shadowland and that song, which is quite an intense song. Just start off with just coming out and singing the song, because prior to it, there's such an intense scene between Star and Nala, and she knows she has not one chance to stay. It's just she has to go. Tell me about how that informs your character, informs your Nala.
So, as I always say, I always say Nala is strong. Nala had to grow fast, and she's strong. But when it comes to that song, we see so many sides of her where she is really vulnerable in the beginning, because she's leaving home. It's not easy. I've been there personally where I had to leave home, and it's just like, oh my God. And she starts there, and she knows she has to go because she needs to find help, but she just has no direction. But then she has to dig really deep, and I think she has to dig deep and grow spiritually. I think that's where she finds Rafiki. I think that's where we see her growing spiritually and with the choreography together. If you've seen the show, she goes through so much internally. So with the choreography where she runs and she puts a ball, at some point she says, I can't do this on my own. I can't do it on my own. I need to find help. And we see Rafiki, and after that,
Done.
done.
Yeah. So you can see that each of them are meant to be made from a different material, even though they are carbon fiber. But this is painted to look like a stone, almost like a granite, because I think it's technically soapstone. But because Nala is supposed to be so strong, and she is, and she's the core, and she gets this guy to behave along with Rafiki, right? Mufasa's mask over there is meant to look as if it's carved out of oak, because he's the leader and strength of the community. So you want to tell us, Dan, about what it's like to wear one of these things on your head and have to act?
The masks are, they're a real adjustment, aren't they? You kind of, the first time I encountered my mask was in my final round audition for the show, which was a nice little shock as you're kind of getting ready and you're already really nervous, and they go, you sing that song again, but this time you put this giant head on, and you kind of have to adjust to that. But something that it is actually really helpful, because the moment that you put them on, because they're a little bit heavy and they're a little bit unwieldy, you kind of have to find your center, and it lifts you up, your chest kind of rises, and you put your shoulders back, and as you find the balance with the mask, immediately you're starting to get into the character, which is really helpful. And so once you kind of get a bit more used to it, the mask, I think, helps you become a lot more expressive. Like you kind of play out a lot more, and it feels it gives you this sort of second head, a second face that you can use, and the movements in the show. Julie Tenwell, the director, created a lot of the sort of movement language is very based in Javanese and Balinese kind of traditional dance, which is very, very much, it's got a very kind of smooth movement style to it, and so your head almost becomes the neck of the head of the animal, and so you start learning to kind of move like this and moving the head and becoming a bit more predatory and a bit more involved in that character, and eventually you get to a point where, even when you're not wearing it, you find yourself moving. So it takes a while to get out of it, but it's,
But it's yet another, filter to put across these conversations because, and the performances, because one can't just put this on and walk out on stage like a human, or you're just going to look like you have a big hat on, and it just doesn't work. And so, it's an immersive experience to be in the show. Tanvi, you have done this show for, I don't have to tell you this, 20 years. 20 years. And she still sounds fantastic. She still is, every single show that I watch, it is like she's doing it for the first time. And that's just some special talent that this gang has up here. But do you want to tell us about those years and why you think this show lasts such a long time, has such longevity?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this show, The Lion King. You just hear the title and you think it's only that, but it's way more than that. And the story in the story of this very show is a story of life. It's a story about life. It's a story about your life, my life, and the next person's life. So it's always easier to just relate to it. So what makes the story, and the cast members that have stayed in the show for the longest time, like he just said, I've been in the story for this long, it's because it's a different story. It's a new story every day. Like I can tell it today, depending on where I am in my life, it's a different story. Then when I tell it tomorrow, it's a different story. And the person who comes to see it today, depending on where they are in their life, it's their story on that specific day and their experiences and their whatever it is that they've encountered. So the story evolves and changes with all of our experiences. So it makes it new every time. So we give birth to these new kids and they find it very interesting and they can relate to it because it evolves with the times as well. So it's just a beautiful story, and I think it has life to it that will last even way. I think my grandchildren would like to be part of this show.
Oh yeah, they'll be great.
It will still be alive then, because the story is a story that lives on.
Yeah. And what I love about that is you see the young Simba in that photograph. I think that actor was about 9 or 10 at that point. The young Niles and Sims generally range between sort of 9 and 12. And we've got 5 cast members currently in London as adults who now cover Simba and Nala, who were young Simba and Nala 10, 12 years ago. And so talk about circle of life. It's like it's happening on so many levels in this thing. It's become so meta, I guess. The giraffe, which a lot of people don't know this, these puppets are only made for incredibly fit people because you have to have such massive core strength to lift these legs and to stay up there because of the mechanics of it. And it's actually quite terrifying to be up there, but these particular gents are gymnasts in the show and dancers, so it's just so one of the first animals that you see in the opening. And so when they're walking across, it just walks exactly like you imagine or you remember seeing if you know what a giraffe looks like walking across David Attenborough shows. You just for a moment you think, are we next door to the zoo or something? And so it just takes you right there. And this beautiful song, which is just, again, it's all the simple things about the show that really work best. It's just bamboo and silk, and it's just lifted up by these 2 wires, and it's suddenly the sun. You can just feel the heat when it's lit. So I think it's time to introduce another character because we have one more seat. So I would like to welcome Matthew Forbes, who plays Zazu, and he's gonna fly in here and come have a seat, Matt. Hello, why don't you tell us about your journey here, getting here to become Mr. Zazu?
I had to fly a long way to get here. So this is Zazu, a beautiful, beautiful puppet. It's one of the most complex puppets in the show. And I suppose the character of Zazu, he's Mufasa's right-hand man. He's the butler the major donor, and looks after the state of the Pride Lands. He makes sure everything is running smoothly and efficiently, until one day he's asked to look after the kids. And he's not as good at looking after the kids as he is looking after the state. And yes, hilarity ensues, and this guy ends up running around after young Simba and young Nala. And in the original animated movie, he was voiced by Rowan Atkinson. So it's an absolute honour and pleasure to be able to, bring life to those lines, which are all very funny.
Let us know how it works.
Yes, so like I say, one of the most complex puppets in the show, and it's sort of like tapping your head and rubbing your tummy all at the same time to bring him to life. So obviously you can see I'm making him blink at the minute, and that's with this control here in my right hand. So if I push it down, the eyes will close, so we can get a bit tired and a bit less aware, or I can send them open. You're very shocked and surprised. The mouth is controlled again by a trigger just here, and so there's lots of lip syncing during the show, and it's all very, very good. We're doing lots of brilliant things with the neck here, which is actually a slinky inside. All of those feathers have been hand painted and are individually stuck on as well. I dread to think how many there are. Answers on a postcard. And then finally the wings are this trigger just under the body, which once open can then fly. You can fly, soar all around the Pride Lands.
So it's one of those good news, bad news auditions. Where good news, you got the part. Bad news, you're going to spend the next 2 months of your life with a bird in your hand. Talk to us about puppetry a bit.
So there's over 230 different types of puppet in the show, and they range from guys like this, and then we have our beautiful giraffe. There's shadow puppetry. There is a huge elephant that, spoiler alert, comes down the aisle, and he is, well, she rather, Bertha. She is around 9 feet wide and 13, 14 feet long, so she's very, very big. And then after seeing her, we then get 2,000 eyes in the audience to look at a 5-inch little mouse that scurries across the stage. And I think that's just a testament to the beautiful puppetry and the beautiful design of the show. Yeah, it just feels so real and fresh all the time, which is really, really special because it's such a wonderfully powerful story, and just, never seems to get old.
So many things to tell her, but how to make her see the truth about my past? Impossible, she'll turn away from me.
He's holding back, he's hiding, but what? I can't decide. Why won't he be the king? I know he's the king as inside. Can you feel the love tonight? As the evening brings, the world falls away in perfect harmony with all its living things. If he feels the love tonight, in the way I do.
It's enough for this restless wanderer just to be
With you.
So we had the most magical day.
Yeah.
We weren't really sure what to expect. It's the first time we've been to one of these sort of launch events or preview events, and it was kind of special that it was the Lion King for us, wasn't it?
It was so amazing to just have those intimate performances. There weren't many people there at all. There was I think about 25 people in total, and to have those performers sing those songs in that small space, it was just so special, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
yeah, it just made us so emotional, and yeah, it's such a privilege to be up that close to those performers singing the songs that we absolutely love. So yeah, it was really, really special.
Really exciting. We were also really spoilt with Prosecco and these amazing goodie bags. We're going to have to show you because how beautiful is this bag. And then we also got the brochure as well. Now we're assuming you're going to be able to purchase these if you are going to see it in Manchester. And we also got one of these amazing water bottles each as well. Not to mention the fabulous cupcakes that you will have seen as well. They just really went out of their way to make everyone feel special, and just having Disney magic is just amazing, especially here in the UK. So yeah, we had the best time. That cast are phenomenal. If you have already booked to go and see it, you are in for a real treat. If you haven't yet booked to see it, you will need to be really quick because all of the dates are getting sold out really, really quickly. The first opening night is October 27th, and then the last night is actually on Christmas Eve. It's the 24th of December. So yeah, definitely recommend you getting your tickets in if you haven't already got them, because I have a feeling they're going to be sold out very soon. Thank you so much to the Palace Theatre Manchester for having us out this afternoon. We had so much fun. The best time.
Thank you for sprinkling that Disney magic onto us. We really did have the best time. And if you guys are headed to go and see The Lion King when it starts touring, or whether you're heading to the West End to watch it, please let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. It's definitely our favourite musical of all time. So yeah, let us know what you guys are up to and what you thought of today's performances too.
Yeah, we also caught some of it on Instagram as well, so if you're not already following us over there, go and check out our Instagram page, which is the Disney Twins UK. We will save our story into a highlight for you to check out. But yeah, we had the best day. If you have liked this video as well, if you are interested in watching our other videos, so all of our park stuff, please do. We've just come back from Disney World, and we are headed to Disneyland Paris hopefully at some point in the near future as well. So if you are interested in any park vlogs, please do check them out. Thanks for watching.
Have a magical day.